some arguments from an educational point of view were there also. When we started, we were concerned about the education in the country. We have to understand that PSA program is a very strong educational program in terms of mathematics, science, reading and writing, service to community. It's a program organized according to capacities and 5 main areas of capacities. And the knowledge that is there is a knowledge that is based on programs equivalent to secondary level, and is deep program. So we were looking at the education in Costa Rica, and we were analyzing that we wanted to work with a certain range of population that is between 13 and 25 years. In Costa Rica, we have a population of 4.5 million inhabitants. Interestingly, 46% of that population is under 24 years of age. Almost half of the population is younger than 24 years. That range of between 13 and 20, 24, 25 represents more or less 23% of the population. So this is a very important segment of the population, and in this segment is many people that are on the education system, the traditional system, but at the same time is that segment of the population that has a lot of problems in education. In Costa Rica, in general, it is said that education is very good. In general, this is the image that it gives, but once you get deeper into what is happening, you will see that there are enormous problems. For example, there is at primary level, the children that should be in school. Statistically, it is said by the Ministry of Education and other reports, 98% of the children are in the systems. But once they go to secondary, the situation is completely different. We find that 70% of the young people that should be studying are studying, but the other 30% are not. They, in a certain way, they went out of the system. They are not participating in the system. In terms of desertion, the biggest desertion is in the transition from 6th grade of primary to the 1st grade of secondary to 7th grade. We have about 22% of the students go out of the system in that transition. Also in 9th grade, 13% of the students live in that transition, that is in secondary. From 8th to 9th grade, they leave the system. And there is a big concern on that, because this is the future of the country. This is the future population of the country. Other statistics says that from 100 students that go into the system, 11 years later, only 34 of them will finish their studies. So there is a dropout of 66 of them that, because of different reasons, leave the system, or they didn't continue, or something happens. So when you see that in a country that this is happening, especially with the youth, it gives you also a concern of what will happen in the future. So our idea with the PSA program, with the preparation for social action, is also to contribute with this situation of the education in Costa Rica, to participate and contribute to try to give an opportunity for these youth to continue their studying, to have an option of first quality, to have a very good program where they can continue their studying, or even some of the students that are participating in schools or educational programs, that they can complement their studies with a very good program that is very strong on service to community, that is very strong on science, that is very strong on mathematics, that is very strong on language, and that allows them to participate in their society and build a new society. We feel that this program also strengthens the vision of the youth to be a protagonist in the development of a new society. And we feel there is a weakness in other programs that are not helping the students to create that. The programs are focused only on developing certain skills, or to train to do certain work, or to give you employment, but are not helping you to be a visionary, to innovate, to have a vision of the future and the structure and how the future should be organized. And working the way we work in the groups and with the communities and the service to their communities, we feel in the process the students will develop this capacity of improve the conditions of life where they live. So coming again to your question, we felt all these elements were very rich to start in these three communities in Talamanca, Yorquín, Mojoncito, and Bajo Cuen, and that this was more like a pilot project at the beginning that would allow us to learn, have some experience, and then to move to other communities in Talamanca. And because of the same characteristic of the PSA, that's why we think Talamanca is a very good region to work in the country. But now, because we are thinking about the youth of Costa Rica, this 23% of the population of the country, we want also to work in other areas of the country, even in the urban areas, here at the great metropolitan area. We think this is a program that can make an enormous contribution to the youth of the country, because we'll give them the capacities to work for a better society.